Hello, welcome. I'm Dr. Haley Blackburn, the Innovation and Design Program Director in C3, and this video is going to just tell you a little bit more about our C3 Student Fellowship. We will be running the inaugural cohort starting in fall 2026, and the applications are open until April 2nd to jump into that program. Now, the big picture for our Student Innovation Fellowship is this year long, so all sort of academic year starting in the fall, ending in spring 2027, so next spring. Our cohort of UCCS students are really going to learn the skills, have some peer-to-peer mentorship, have industry mentorship, and learn kind of project management to ultimately take creative concepts, these project ideas, into real-world impact. Okay, and so our main kind of goal, right, is bridging that gap between creative concepts. We know you all have them. Our students on campus are so amazing at seeing problems and talking a lot about potential solutions or ideas, but we know that we need support and structure and a little bit of a push, right, in order to really make that impact and turn the ideas from something in your brain to something that is out here materially in the world. And so with our cohort, right, you'll have all of your creative concepts, bring your curiosity on one side, and throughout the year, throughout all the programming, you will take baby, steps, hit each milestone in order to deliver on your project that will actually, appear, impact, and support our campus or your broader community. Now, why join the fellowship? First, we do have money to give you. So each of the selected members of the cohort will receive $3,000 to further your educational goals, go towards this project idea and concept that you want to deliver on, and just, overall help out and acknowledge the work that you will be putting in as part of this program. We will be splitting that between fall and spring semesters. So about $1,500, right at $1,500 kind of each term. Then outside of the financial support towards your projects and your goals, you'll receive a certificate of completion, acknowledging how much work and effort you did put into this cohort. So that way you just have that to post to things like your LinkedIn and have in your portfolios and your resumes, a great talking point in interviews. And then you'll also receive just a digital badge that slots into your LinkedIn really nicely. Third, right, we hear it all the time. It's about the network. A lot of times it's, who you know, even more than what you know. So being part of this cohort will give you some of that, access, right, to guest speakers, industry leaders, community partners, and other local innovators just to help, inspire and grow your own network as you are figuring out your kind of career pathways. And last, dedicated one-on-one mentorship, both with your other cohort of peer members, but also with, faculty within your project area and within C3 Innovation. So you'll get that really direct, hands-on, guidance tailored to your career goals and your project. Now, in terms of kind of the overall structure, really what we're working with when we talk about our kind of community of practice and learning. So layer one, kind of as we all start out, is going to be, group learning, a lot of content on our Canvas shell, so some asynchronous content similar to what you could get in your classes. They'll be added to a Canvas shell just for us. You do not need to register, for anything. If you're selected for the cohort, we'll place you into that Canvas shell, but it will look familiar to what you're used to in class. And that's we'll have modules, with videos and really brief readings and just kind of learning content, as well as worksheets to help you with your project management. Then kind of layer two is really where that cohort model shines. And that's where you will participate in monthly, events, both social events, just to get to know your cohort and your peers, and then these active learning workshops with these kind of guest speakers and mentors coming in. And then the top layer is the actual kind of project that you're working on, and each cohort member, will select and work towards their own project. You don't need to know your project in order to apply. Part of that layer one that we'll work on in the fall is developing and really getting exactly what your project is. But you do need to have kind of an interest area, a general maybe problem you would like to solve, or like big picture thing that you would like to do. And so throughout the whole year, then you will do that hands-on project work with prototyping and iteration, experimentation, all the things that we love about the innovator's mindset. So that way you can bring your idea then to an actual deliverable that you can speak about and show off and impact our community. And so we are looking for 8 fellows for our first cohort that will be, selected based on the application process, but it is open to all majors, all degree programs, undergraduate and graduate, because we want our cohort to be interdisciplinary and draw from arts, humanities, sciences, as well as traditional research kind of perspectives and projects as well. And we know kind of that great combination of all the major areas of learning and skill and just kind of humanity, problem solving, building, is what's going to make the best cohort. So no matter what your major is, you have a place as an innovator, as a creative, as a curious fellow and person, and we want to hear from you. Okay, in terms of that structured pathway throughout the year, like I said, you'll be learning with these Canvas modules, you'll picking up core principles of innovation, entrepreneurship, and project management, and then we'll connect that with your peer-to-peer sessions and learning workshops, so that way you are empowered and ready to actually apply kind of your concepts to the project. And then you also have monthly check-ins with the project manager, just to make sure that you are, making that progress that we need in order to get it done within the year, and that you have support on any roadblocks and challenges, and we'll be there to help point you in that direction and get you set up with the resources that you're going to need. So the Capstone Project itself, this has a really wide range of what we are considering as a project, and intentionally so. And so for this project, right, you just need to have a deliverable by the end, so we can kind of point to, hey, here's the work that you did. And we are looking for something that we can tie to like community impact, or one of our pillars of C3. So our pillars are curiosity, creativity, and community. So as long as we can kind of tie into one of those 3 and show some real impact, we'll be in an amazing place. And so we will help you, design your idea. So let's say, you want to go a little bit more on the creativity pillar. Maybe you're coming from one of the humanities, disciplines. Maybe you're a history major or anthropology major or something like that. If you and you would like to create something to maybe educate and teach about your field or your favorite subtopic, within your field that you're learning, that could absolutely be a project. And we could talk about, do you want to create something like a YouTube channel or a podcast? Do you want to create a full like digital archive and digital humanities exhibit? We can make that work for your project. So you could be something like that, or if you're coming from, a different side of the field and you have, maybe a community event or an organization that you think is missing on our campus and a way to engage, and you really want to lead that charge in building up that kind of event or a new club or organization, we can help you through that process. As well. And then, you can also do research or a more like tangible product or service that you want to build as well. So we'll help you design it. Then you'll, spend the time testing, iterating, getting all the pieces in place to then ultimately implement and launch or do or host kind of whatever your project idea and design ends up being. So again, these are just examples to get you started. When you apply, you just need to have a general kind of interest area and topic you can speak to. You don't need to have an actual plan in place just yet. And all of this culminates at the end of the year, the biggest requirement. So you'll, along the way, have your monthly social events and check-ins and mentorship meetings, things to do on Canvas. But the biggest thing is our innovation showcase that will happen like late semester, sometime in April, where you will, show what you worked on and what that deliverable is, to the public. And we'll be inviting the community and the business community and campus for you to really show that off and explain what it is that you were able to do over the year. And so that is definitely a requirement to showcase then your work. Okay, so in terms of eligibility, right, hopefully you're on board, you're like, I want to do this, we want to see you. So for your application, just make sure that you are a degree-seeking UCCS student, so you are actively working towards a degree program that you've earned at least 30 credits, so essentially sophomore standing or above, or you've been accepted or are working towards a graduate program, in next year. And then last, that you have one on-site in-person credit per semester for fall and spring. So, we do just need you to be on campus in our community to participate in the cohort. And as long as you have those 3 things, yes, let's get your application together. So what you're going to need, your basic information, some academic details about yourself, 2, you'll need to write and submit a statement of interest, just a very brief essay, like 500 words-ish, like a page, basically, just explaining, right? What does innovation mean to you? What are your goals? What's a potential project idea? Again, we don't need a proposal, full thing, just what is it that you generally are interested in working on, doing, and how are you kind of prepared for this interdisciplinary work? What are you going to get out of the cohort if you're selected? 3rd, resume or CV. The Career Center can help you format and create those if you've never made a resume before. And then 4, we do just want a recommendation contact. So you don't need a full letter from your reference or recommendation yet. I just need somebody that I could contact to learn a little bit more about you. So think a professor, an advisor, a mentor, an internship coordinator, anything along those lines, who might be able to speak, right, just to your work as a student. Okay. Key milestones. We are here kind of in early March doing info sessions, workshops, just spreading the word. The application deadline is April 2nd. So just make sure you get all those materials in. That's right after spring break. April 2nd. By early May, we will have the 8 selected fellows, and we'll be announcing those before we wrap up for the end of the semester. And then late summer, and you won't be asked to do anything over the summer, so don't worry, you can still keep your plans intact, but that very, very late summer, kind of right before school starts, and then early fall, we will do all of our orientation, onboarding, and the program ultimately starts and then runs through the next academic year. So I hope that you apply. I'm excited to read about your project and help you really shape the future of your own campus and your career and experiences. We're interested in your ideas and taking it, for you to act your action and seeing your impact on our campus. So please reach out with any questions and submit your application through Mountain Line Connect. We'll see you there.